Hello boxing fans, right now we're talking Kell Brook versus Matty Hatton. The winner of this should be able to fight the WBA welterweight title holder Vasilev Shevchenko. I mean seriously, what is up with having the most hard to pronounce name in the world? Well, that fight could happen if he doesn't already lose to the man he's supposed to be fighting in Ukraine later this year, and that is Paulie Malignaggi. I'll do a prediction on that fight just a bit later. Okay then, so we're going to get straight into the actual prediction part now. I'm going to talk about Matty Hatton first. What do we know about him? He's got a decent jab, much improved defense, some power but not one punch power. He's got great experience, more experience than Kell Brook. He's boxed with some of the greatest boxers in the world right now. For example, Saul Alvarez. He obviously gets help from his brother Ricky. Back to Saul Alvarez. He didn't do badly in their fight, and compared to some of the other opposition that Alvarez has fought recently, you might say he would have done a decent job. And he knows right now he's have to win this fight to get a fight with Shevchenko. So this is it. This is his real big stepping stone fight. This is one he's got to win to get that world title fight. Now another point I want to point out is people are saying, is this a good fight? Is this not a good fight? Oh, we're really disappointed in Kell Brook. But let's say worst case scenario, right? This is a stepping stone for Kell Brook. It's going to bigger and better things. That was also the case with Saul Alvarez. So if he's good enough for Saul Alvarez, he's good enough for Kell Brook in my opinion. Because I don't think Saul Alvarez and Kell Brook are at the same level. Do you? No. Saul Alvarez is probably better than Kell Brook. So in fact, this should be an even better match for Kell Brook, because he'll get tested a lot more. Let's move on to Kell Brook now. Obviously, he's a switch hitter from the Steel City of Sheffield. You know, he can use either hand, got power in either hand, and that's dangerous in this division, you know. Usually you've got guys who are like, you know, Andre Berto. You stay away from that right hand and you're okay for the rest of the fight, really. With Kell Brook, he's got two hands you've got to worry about. Two hands. He's doubled up. So what do we know about this? Obviously, Kell Brook has the power in this fight. The question is, can he use it to trouble or stop Matty Hatton? We're going to get a lot of questions posed for Kell Brook, and he's got to do his best to answer them. You see, we know Kell's got a speed advantage, but can he use it to Matty Hatton's detriment? It's a good point. We also know that Kell Brook is the better boxer, but can he use his boxing skills to outdo Matty Hatton, a guy who also is coming to win and win well? We don't know. There's another question for you, Kell. You see, Kell does have some good defense sometimes. It needs tuning up a bit. Sometimes Kell springs backwards and leaves his chin up in the air. You know what I mean? So he can get that tagged on, and Matty Hatton will be doing his best to tag that chin. So this is what we're going to see. Is Matty Hatton going to be able to test his defense? And if he gets through the defense, will he be able to test that chin? I think he will. And there's going to be some answers from Kell Brook. What else do we know about Kell Brook? Well, he's got some decent stamina. Up to now, he seems to be trying to take his fights the full 12 rounds. For example, of Mondo, he was happy not to go out of first gear. Why was he doing that? Because he wanted to show himself as a 12-round fighter. The 147-pound division needs 12-round fighters. Look at people like Victor Ortiz. Look at people like Andre Berto. These guys got no stamina, you know. These guys can't go 6 rounds without blowing like a bitch. So if you throw in a guy who's like designed to go the full 12 rounds, then you know that you're going to throw a cat amongst the pigeons right there. You know what I mean? The only problem is, will Matty Hatton be blown out before he can test that stamina? Okay, just doing a quick comparison now. Both of these guys have fought Love Mondo. What do we know about Love Mondo? He's very versatile. He's a decent fighter. He used to be a good champion. Now when Hatton fought him, it was pretty much win one round, lose the next round, for the full 12 rounds. You know, that's just how it went. We don't know why. Right? Maybe Hatton could have won that fight. Maybe Lovemore could have won that fight. I don't know. It was 50-50. You know, so the draw was probably best, wasn't it? With Kell Brook, however, it was one gear the whole fight. He never got out of first gear. He won every round, 1 to 12. Whitewashed the scorecards. You see, that's the difference in class already between Kell Brook and Matty Hatton. Let's just say there's always a percent for failure, isn't there? For example, Lovemore may have degenerated a huge amount since the Hatton fight and the Kell Brook fight. But then again, Lovemore also took Saul Alvarez to 12 rounds, so you can't say anything, can you? Okay then, so now I'm going to get straight into the prediction and how I think the fight's going to go. I think this is going to be a good boxing match, and I think they'll both attempt to get their jab working, and I think that Matty Hatton was going to end up trying to get on the inside. I think Kell Brook's going to allow him to get on the inside so he can show off his defence, however. The only thing is, I think Kell Brook's going to have a little bit too much for him in terms of boxing ability, speed and power. And I think there's a chance, a slim chance, that Kell Brook stops him late. I'm thinking middle rounds to later rounds, round 9 maybe stops him. Other than that, I think he's going to go for a unanimous decision victory for Kell Brook, based on the fact that I think Kell Brook will be the one to get his jab working. The fact that he can switch it will keep Matty Hatton, what would be the word to use right now? It'll keep him confused. And I think that Matty Hatton's not on the same level as Kell Brook. I think Matty Hatton is around the contender level. I think he's ready for the world. He could fight people who are trying to get to a world title shot, and then they could use him as a stepping stone. However, I think Kell Brook is already at world title level. I think if you're throwing him amongst the rest of the boxers who are holding the world titles right now, don't take in Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Take them two out. If you throw him among the other people who are holding the belts, I think that he could hold his own, maybe even beat some of them, you know. So I'm gonna go with Kell Brook unanimous decision. Okay, that's what we'll go with.